Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to today's pre-match press conference ahead of our game against Sporting Kansas City. Due to scheduling issues, we have Alonso Martinez starting at 2 p.m. With us now, we have head coach Pascal Jansen. If you have any questions, please raise your hand. We'll get started with Scott.
Hey, Coach. Good afternoon. Scott Schertz from Stream Punk Soccer.
Hi, Scott.
Hi. Could you give a twofold update here, one on the status of Munsef Bakrar and also one on Micha as well? Thanks. Munsef and Micha. Need to hear that again.
They're both with us here in Kansas. That's the current status.
Christian?
Good afternoon, Pascal. Just given the dramatic nature of the Orlando game, did you give yourself a little bit more than 24 hours to digest that one?
Well, we flew straight after the game. We didn't fly straight away, so we went back to the hotel for the regen, and we flew to Kansas early in the afternoon. So it gave us enough opportunity to let it sink in and think about this game, but we enjoy it 24 when we win, the same as with a draw or a loss, and the full focus is now on Kansas City.
Andrew?
I had a question based on what this is Andrew with Hudson River Blue. Sorry.
Hi, Andrew.
Andrea said you were tough on the team at halftime, and that it sort of your changes helped your team turn it around in the second half. I was just curious, based on now that you've had time to look back at the game, how you view the first half performance and sort of what was missing from that half compared to how you guys played when you made the comeback, and what you're trying to change from that going into this now final two games of the road trip here, starting in Kansas City.
It's a lot of questions.
Sorry.
The thing is, the first half, the quality, especially in our possession play, wasn't there. We had a spare man in the middle of the pitch where we like to have a spare man. We were not able to find him accurate enough, which concluded into having a few turnovers in these weather conditions that can break up the team. Even though we weren't playing great, we know that one of our principles was broken during the set piece when Orlando scored the goal, and we were under pressure because of the inaccuracy in the first half. So during halftime, of course, we had our conversation going into the second half, but my main priority is to make sure that the team goes out well prepared and does better in going into the second half. But in general, I thought we were not putting up a fight, and we were playing way too soft considering what was at stake. And getting a draw at the end of the game was something that we were hoping for, but to get the win at the end was even better. So we have to learn from this second half, but we also have to learn from this first half, and especially being away at this stretch, we have to make sure that we stay competitive like we did in the second half against Orlando in order to have chances to have a better stretch in our games.
Michael Allen?
Hi, Coach. Michael Allen with First America and Blue City Radio.
Hi, Mike.
You're in the middle of this July road trip. It's your first year in MLS. You're getting a real taste of everything that MLS has to offer as far as travel goes. How do you find this affecting your plans as a coach, like your training schedule, affecting the team, going into a game against Kansas City on Saturday?
Mm-hmm.
Does the travel factor into you more or less than over in Europe?
I would say it affects more. I can't say it affects more than I expected because it's my first experience undergoing this. On the other hand, we know it's part of the MLS, so we have to deal with it. And for that, I have to give a lot of credits to the rest of my staff, my performance staff in particular, because they've been preparing our players for these circumstances and these conditions way before we went into this sequence. So we hope to have the benefit of that and make sure that we have a big chance in performing as good as we can.
Javier?
Hey, Pascal, Javier from City Boys. In the last broadcast, they mentioned that Kean Parks might be out for a longer period of time. And I was curious, is the team being conservative with Kean Parks, and what's his status?
Still the same as I mentioned last week. Unfortunately he's not available for us, and we're trying to find out as many things as we can in order to help Keaton and recover as soon as possible. But there's a lot of things that we don't know yet, so we just have to be patient with him.
Going back to you, Andrew.
Hey, Andrew Lee with Hudson River Blue again. So the MLS transfer window opens again next week. We've seen players leave, some announcement of new players coming in. Is it sort of at all extra challenging for you managing at this period where there's like flux in the roster and players changing while you're kind of in the heart of the season? It's somewhat different, I know, because it's like the summer in Europe. There's not games happening when you're making moves to the roster. And how do you keep the players from maybe being sort of either distracted or getting sort of drawn into the discussion or rumors that are swirling around the team while like the transfer window is active?
Yeah, that's an interesting one, but it's also very simple. It happens all over the world when the window is open, and players get ideas either to move in or move out. It happens all over the world. I made it very clear from day one. Everybody in my dressing room is focused on what needs to be done at CFA, our training ground. So whatever issue you have going on, don't make it our problem, and make sure that you deliver the quality that we expect in every session that we are together. And so far, I have no complaints. All our players are holding up their end, and that's the way it should be. Of course, throughout the process, I have my conversations with guys who might have other ideas, but until now, as I mentioned just now, it doesn't affect our daily routines in order to perform as good as we can.
Christian?
Just turning to tomorrow's game, what are some of the unique challenges you think the Sporting Kansas City team will present your team?
I think the biggest challenge will be us coming from a midweek game, an away game. Kansas City didn't play midweek, so they had a whole week to prepare going into this game. So I think that will be the biggest challenge. However, we are ready and ready to compete. So after a good win with a good fight in the second half against Orlando, we're very confident going into this next game, and that's how things should be.
Anyone else? Go ahead, Michael.
Yeah, just to follow up on that, Coach, if you could, how important was getting that midweek win in Orlando, jumpstarting into this Kansas City game on this road trip?
Well, for us, it was very important to get a good result in an away game, period. Against a strong opponent, Orlando at home, in these conditions, I was told it's going to be tough, and it was a very tough game. So confidence-wise, it helps you, of course, the way we got the result. But we are looking beyond that. So we want to get better at our away games because it's been an issue in several conversations. So for us going into this Kansas City game, being an away game as well, we just want to make sure that our stretch goes further than only the game against Orlando.
Great. Thank you, everybody.